Now to the latest in the war between Israel and Hamas. At least 11 more hostages have been released from Gaza, 2 women and 9 children. A total of 69 hostages released by Hamas since the ceasefire first began. The two sides announcing Monday they have reached an agreement to extend that temporary truce for at least 2 additional days, allowing for more hostages to be released and aid to get into Gaza.
And joining us now is the junior senator from Delaware and a member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Senator Coons. Senator, thank you and welcome back, and always good to have you on.
Great to be on with you. Thanks for a chance to talk today.
Of course, the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas again has been extended to 2 additional days. What's your reaction on the latest developments and also how the Biden administration is handling things?
President Biden has been personally, directly engaged in these negotiations, speaking with both Prime Minister Netanyahu and the leader of Qatar and other leaders in the region, making possible this release of hostages. I am concerned about and hopeful that there will be more American hostages released. When I traveled to the region a month ago with a bipartisan group of senators, we met with the families of Americans held hostage, and I continue to pray for them and to work on their behalf to try and advocate for a further extension of this period where more hostages may be released. It's also allowing for critical humanitarian aid to get into Gaza. There are many, many hostages still unaccounted for, still likely in Hamas custody, and it's my hope that the Red Cross will get to meet with them and that more families will get the blessed relief of having their loved ones come home.
You just mentioned your trip to Israel and those meetings with the families of those hostages. What more can you tell us about those meetings you had?
They left a lasting impression on me and on the other senators who were with me. Just this morning, I heard from John Poland, who's the father of Hirsch Goldberg Poland. He and his wife, Rachel, met with us in Tel Aviv, also came and met with a bipartisan group of senators here in the Capitol just last week. They're an incredible pair of parents who are working for, waiting for, hoping for the release of their son. Hirsch was harmed, injured by Hamas. They blew his left arm off with a grenade in the attack on October 7th. His best friend was killed next to him. October 7th was right around his 23rd birthday, and they've had no word or confirmation of whether he survived that attack, whether he's in Hamas custody, whether he'll be released.
Senator, let's talk about this aid package if we can. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says that he hopes to get an aid bill for Israel and Ukraine to the Senate floor as soon as next week, saying, quote, "A time is short for us to act." Are you hopeful that an aid package will get through both the House and the Senate?
Well, I'm hopeful, but there are some very difficult details to work out here. And over the last week, over Thanksgiving, a group of senators, both Democrats and Republicans, were talking regularly. Republicans have put a condition on moving this aid package forward. They want to add conditions to the border that will further restrict folks coming into this country seeking asylum. I'll remind you that when President Biden sent to the Senate his request for over $100 billion in supplemental funding, a big chunk of it would go to Ukraine. Some of it would go to Israel. A critical part would go to humanitarian aid, but roughly $13 billion, which would be the single largest one-time investment, would go to border security, to hiring thousands of Border Patrol and Customs and Border Protection agents, and to increasing physical security at our border. Our Republican colleagues have said that's not enough. They want policy changes. Those negotiations are quite difficult. My hope is that we'll make progress this week and be able to put the bill on the floor next week and pass it. We cannot abandon Ukraine.
In a time when there's so much unrest in the world, over 300 military promotions have basically been put on hold in the Senate. Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville has been blocking this for months over a disagreement with a Pentagon abortion policy. Do you think that the Senate can get those military nominees confirmed?
We have to. We have to move past this. There's no precedent for this, for one senator blocking all the promotions of every flag rank officer, every general, every admiral in the entire U.S. military. I've spoken to Coach Tuberville, to Senator Tuberville, and said to him, I understand you have a policy disagreement with the president. Get a vote on the floor, allow this issue to be voted on up or down, and move on. But don't politicize the promotions of career military officers. It's having a negative and a dramatic impact on our readiness. And frankly, it's impacting the reputation of the American military globally for being nonpartisan, outside and above American politics. This is very harmful, and we have to resolve it before the end of this year.
Delaware Senator Chris Coons, thanks as always for coming on.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.